Hello and welcome to Wrestling Wednesday. Even though it's not Wednesday, it's gonna be Wednesday though in the future, where we discuss all things professional wrestling. Why? Because I can, and there's no other outlet for me because all my friends think I'm crazy watching wrestling. Um, what kind of wrestling? Mostly following AEW, obviously, because I'm a smart. So are you. And then, of course, some WWE, mostly focusing on Raw, SmackDown, and if there's an NXT takeover, everything else just takes too much time. So there's not too much indie wrestling here. Trying to look at TNT once in a while, and just by me saying TNT, you see that I'm not the biggest fan or follower of Impact. I tried it a few years ago, but it's just too much time. Even though I do appreciate a few of the developments over there right now, which we certainly also discuss here, especially thanks to Impact's relationship with AEW by now. Okay, but let's just jump right into it. AEW New Year's Smash, great name by the way, number 2 that happened, and well, there are a few things that we should discuss, of course. I think let's just do it like chronically, right? More or less. Darby Allin with for his title, like it's Brian Cage. I've been a big fan of Brian Cage ever since Lucha Underground, which was pretty cool, and I'm sad it's not around anymore, by the way. I also own the website luchaunderground.com. Haven't updated in forever, obviously, but good old time. So Brian Cage, obviously doing a great job here. Darby Allin coming into his own, and I also like that Sting is involved here. And I like Sting the way he works right now, meaning not wrestling because he's way too old for this. I do like when the lights go off, though, then the snow is falling, and then Sting is there with a baseball bat and just hitting people. I thought I'm not gonna like it. I thought, oh god, Sting too old, washed up. Who needs him in 2021 or 2020 when he debuted for AEW? Now I actually kind of like it, as long as he's not going to be in the ring and wrestling anymore because he's what 60, 70, 200, who knows. Uh, it's just not necessary anymore for him to wrestle, I believe. But everything else is pretty awesome, so I do like what they're doing here. The NWA Women's Championship match, Serena Deeb and Tay Conti. I like Serena Deeb a lot, actually. I like that she's still improving, developing, getting better, so I'm always up for those matches. Not much more to say, actually. It's just really, really good wrestling, and that's something that's very nice to see. Um, I did like the Pac and the Eddie Kingston thing that's going on right now. I haven't been familiar with Eddie Kingston before he came to AEW, so as I've said, I'm not the biggest indie fan. Time constraints, time zone constraints, and so on. But having him heard in several interviews with Chris Van Vliet, for example, opened my eyes, and I tried to follow or just do some homework researching and saw some pretty cool stuff. And I also like what he's doing right now, like the brawler style, especially the promos. Of course, everyone is a fan of Eddie Kingston promos, and then just the opposite style of Pac, which is not really opposite because character-wise, I think they're not that far from each other, to be honest. But Pac with his bastard character is just awesome, of course, and then of course also Kingston's Monica fits here very well. So that's just really cool what they're doing. And yeah, I really liked it. Obviously, the interferences are also reasonable, which makes Kingston a bigger threat right off the gate, or right off the gate all the time. So that's pretty cool to see. I wasn't the biggest fan of Jurassic Express versus FTR. I do like FTR, of course, just like everybody else out there. Not the biggest fan of Jurassic Express, even though they have sound matches all the time, great techniques and so on. But I'm just not digging the gimmick too much. Nevertheless, good match, and yeah, certainly fits the card, and it was just fun to watch. Chuck Taylor Miro. I'm a big Miro fan, obviously. Who isn't, right? The best man. But he does work very Rusev-like right now, which might be on purpose, just to throw it in WWE's face, like, hey, I can still crush, and Lana being on WWE TV still, so maybe that's on purpose, probably on purpose. But I'm looking forward to Rusev see, I said Rusev Miro, showing a bit more diverse skills in the future. Right now, he doesn't have to, and they establish him as like the big bad heel, just like what WWE did back then, actually, just with more character, hopefully. But I'm looking forward to him showing more skills again. But as long as Miro's winning, it's all good, and I'm happy for that. What else did we have? We had the Inner Circle, obviously, which was awesome. MJF, great on the mic. Many people commented and said it reminds them of was it Jericho and Owens back then, which was amazing. I still missed the list. That was cool. Yeah, then the talking was just really fun. With MJF's hands. That was also an amazing line here. Your hands are darker than your face. It was very funny. Sammy Hager was also great, a great tag team name. Nice joke there that probably most people didn't get because they're not old enough. So that was fun all around. The only thing that I wonder is what's happening with Wardlow. Like he's like, okay, guys, you all team up, and I'm left alone out here. What's happening? I hope there's some more development happening. Maybe something's going to happen to one of the tag team partners, and then Wardlow jumps in or whatever. But yeah, other than that, that was hilarious. Really good promos, of course. Lots of fun. They even keep teasing each other on social media, on Instagram, with their respective comments. And AEW posted the quote of Santana, and then Santana commented and said like, "Hey, it was a legit question. I really want to know what's happening." So that's really funny. Good stuff all around. So keep it up. Fun. Not grading it, but if I would grade it, it would be an A. And then last but not least, Elite six-man tag team, which was awesome. And we saw Kenny Omega, Don Callis talking, getting interviewed, and then the Young Bucks there chatting around, and then Don Callis like, yeah, you should have your own entrance. So Kenny goes to the ring with his cleaner entrance, and then Don Callis announces the World Tag Team Champions, Kenny Omega's best friends, and then the Good Brothers come in, which was really cool. Everyone was surprised. The Young Bucks were pissed. All good. So that was great development. Again, storytelling on point. Fun match, of course, as well. So all good. All even like their opponents, I think they did a good job in putting them over, of course, but also hanging in there, like Pillman with a few really nice moves. So that was fun. But overall, it was about the storytelling, and it was just fun all around. Very well done. Looking forward to what we will see in the future here with the Young Bucks, the Good Brothers, Kenny, and so on. Again, I'm not grading here because I'm not cultaholic, but if I would grade this AEW episode, it would have been an A. Hey. Okay, now from A territory to not A territory, which is obviously WWE Raw, right? Raw, for a while, looked like it would come back into like a better, how to say, form, and it would be more fun to watch again. And then this week happened. It wasn't that terrible, all that terrible, and I'm sure Tom Campbell would still give it an A because they tried to have a show or something. But for me, it wasn't that awesome. First of all, we have to say get well soon to Drew McIntyre, of course, COVID-19, and this is asymptomatic, so should be okay rather soon, hopefully. Then we started off with Randy Orton and Triple H, which was pretty cool. Like throwback to better times back then. So then we started off with Triple H and Randy Orton, which was pretty cool. Throwback to the old times. So old people like me were like all excited, like, yes, finally we get another classic brawl between Randy Orton and Triple H, which would have been awesome. The throwaway lines like, did Stephanie not let you take your balls out of her purse or whatever? Yeah, unnecessary, not funny anymore. But at least it led to Triple H accepting the match. So that was nice to see, in my opinion. Even though lots of graded videos didn't think that this was fun. It wasn't fun, but it set up a match between Randy Orton and Triple H, which would have been cool, I think. Okay, then we first see Charlotte against Lacey Evans. Not that much chemistry, in my opinion, but okay. Decent-ish. The promo of both of both performers just terrible. The promo before they both went to the ring. Oh god, they're really not good at that. So if they send Keith Lee back to NXT to learn more like how to work a WWE ring, maybe send those people back to learn how to cut a promo. Anyways, then of course Ric Flair came back to the ring, interfered. What is this gonna lead to? Oh, it's just terrible. I hate it. Not interested. Next, Ric Flair. If you haven't checked it out with Kevin Hart, Cold as Balls, Ric Flair, you really feel sorry for the guy after a while. Yeah, not my cup of tea, to be honest. Then we had Jeff Hardy versus Jackson Ryker, which was a decent match. Jackson Ryker picking up the win, being coached and helped by Elias. Then Elias gets into the ring and fights Jeff Hardy and loses to Jeff Hardy. And where does this now lead us? Elias complained to Jackson Ryker, "Why didn't you help me?" Jackson Ryker said, "I didn't think it was necessary." Yeah, what is this gonna do to like the storytelling? Where are we going from here? Not a big fan of this. Yeah, let me know what you think, but I don't really like this, to be honest. What I did like though was then the Miz and Miz and Morrison versus Sheamus and Keith Lee. I like it for the Miz and Morrison because I'm old enough to remember when they were cool, and I'm still a fan of both of those guys. Of course, they were just used here to put over Sheamus and Keith Lee, which is a bit sad. But okay, I'm not a big fan of either, to be honest. Again, not the indie smart, as you can see. So yeah, but what I've seen from Keith Lee in NXT and then back before when I did my homework was cool. What I've seen in WWE so far on Raw wasn't that great. But let's see if they let him lose at one point. Never been a big fan of Sheamus, to be honest. I like his workout videos on Instagram, but that's about it. On YouTube, but that's about it. I would have liked to see Miz and Morrison doing more damage, but okay. I still hope that this at one point Miz can cash in his contract and actually successfully become champion again because he deserves it. He's great in promos, and yeah, Miz all day long. What else did we have? Then this led to Keith Lee versus Sheamus, right? Keith Lee with some power moves just to show how strong he is. Fair enough, I guess. So cool, good job. Let's see if this leads to another bigger push for Keith Lee in the future. T-Bar versus Xavier Woods was a match for some reason, and Retribution is still a thing. Maybe, I guess. Yeah, good match though. Like the match itself was fine. I think I just don't quite get the Retribution thing because they cancel them, then they're back again, then they cut, then they're back, then whatever. So yeah, Bobby Lashley versus not Matt versus Riddle. Why does everybody need to get rid of their first names? Lashley versus Riddle. Never been a Lashley fan, to be honest. It was the last time I watched Impact. I think back then when Lashley was still a thing in Impact. Yeah. The Hurt Business is kind of cool though. So at least they're somehow coherent with the storytelling there. Yeah, but still, I don't think they're using Riddle well. Riddle did well in NXT and on the Indies before, of course. But ever since he's on Raw, kind of weird. Not really letting him loose, letting him show what he can do. So a bit disappointed there, to be honest. What I really liked though was Drew Gulak versus AJ Styles. First, the build-up was kind of cool. AJ Styles, of course, saying like he's in the Royal Rumble, and Drew Gulak being told you can't just announce you're in the Royal Rumble, you have to win that match. And why would we let you in the Royal Rumble? And he had a flash drive ready to show like his accomplishments. I believe not a PowerPoint this time, which was just a fun again callback. Then the matches are just awesome. Drew Gulak is so underrated. Really good match. I would love to see more of Drew Gulak versus AJ Styles, Drew Gulak versus Daniel Bryan, and so on. Gulak needs to be pushed. Maybe he needs a different name because it sounds a bit weird, but he needs to be pushed because he's definitely one of the best wrestlers on the roster. It was just there to showcase AJ Styles, though, of course. Well done, great, fun match, I think. Just the teasing of like there could be more if Gulak would have a better position on the card. So that was just fun. Yeah, good job. I'm not going to talk about Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax versus Dana Brooke and Mandy Rose, not because of sexist, but because Nia Jax just, and that's nothing to do with Nia Jax's appearance, it's just with the skill set. It's just, no, no. Mm. Then Triple H versus Randy Orton. What I was waiting for was like, yes, and then Triple H comes out. It's time to play the game, right? Walking to the ring, doing the water spitting, even during COVID times. Like, how dare him? Then he wears a T-shirt, which is a very telling if Triple H wears a T-shirt when he's getting in the ring. Okay, and Randy Orton. Okay, we got everything. Triple H eventually takes out a sledgehammer. We were waiting for this, of course. Then lights off, sledgehammer starts to burn. Then Triple H gone. Then Alexa Bliss there. She throws a fireball at Randy Orton, blinds him, hurts him. Randy Orton is blinded, confused, whatever. Such a letdown, very anticlimactic finale to Raw, I think. I read lots of mixed reviews. I guess it's probably also an age thing again. A lot on the WWE accounts, YouTube, IG, and so on. Lots of fans say that was awesome, so much fun, that was cool. I wonder what Alexa Bliss is up to, and so on. Lots of, I guess, Attitude Era fans were like disappointed, like, wait, what the hell? I was so looking forward to seeing this. This could have been so cool, a cool callback to the old times. Let them lose. Legend Killer, here we go again. I have to admit, I'm more on the page of the letter, but maybe that's like also because I'm not the target audience anymore. So who knows? Anyways, overall, again, I'm not grading, but if I would, that would have been a C, maybe a C plus, I think. Now my students would say, yeah, he grades so strict. But then again, I'm not Tom Campbell. So I guess this Raw got like probably a B or something over that Cultaholic. Fair enough. If you like it, you like it. If not, then not. My clear winner this week was AEW. No surprise here. Then, since this is the first wrestling video, no SmackDown yet. SmackDown's airing soon, so then next time on the next Wrestling Wednesday, we will be talking about SmackDown, Raw, and AEW, and of course predictions for the Royal Rumble, because the Royal Rumble is coming soon, I think January 31st, and Royal Rumbles are always fun, so that's going to be cool. We're going to be talking about, I don't know, surprise entrances, who's going to come back, who's going to win it, maybe even, and so on. So stay tuned for this. This is the first Wrestling Wednesday, not on a Wednesday, but in the future it's going to be a Wednesday here on the podcast. So very much looking forward to next time. And I promise I'll try to come up with a catchphrase, because you can smell what I'm cooking. And even though I said so, this has been taken. So until then, catchphrase next week.